We cultivate the virtue of justice. Ulpian the Jurist, circa 170 to 223 CE. In context, morality and theory of law. Before, circa 450 BCE. The 12 Tables herald a millennium of codifying Roman law ending with the code of Byzantine Emperor Justinian I in 529 CE. 27 BCE to 14 CE, Emperor Augustus appoints certain law experts or jurists to give legal opinions on his behalf. 1st century CE. Two rival law schools flourish in Rome. The Sabinians tend to promote tradition and conservative orthodoxy, and the Proculians reasoning and consistency. After 533 CE, Justinian I publishes the Digest, a compendium of writings of Roman jurists. Circa 1070, manuscripts of Justinian's legal books are rediscovered in northern Italy, prompting a revival of interest in Roman law and in Ulpian. Domitius Silvanus was the most influential jurist of classical Rome. He wrote prolifically, authoring over 2 books on law in little more than 10 years. His acclaim was renewed many centuries later in the Middle Ages, when the name Ulpian became synonymous with Roman law. Distinguished career. Ulpian was born in the late 2nd century in the Phoenician city of Tyre in what is now Lebanon. The nearby city of Beirut, was home to the most famous law school of the Roman Empire, and it is possible that Ulpian studied or taught there. In Rome, Ulpian rose to be a high-ranking official in the imperial government. Early in the 3rd century, he served under Emperor Caracalla as his master of petitions, penning replies to requests made to the emperor. It was after 212 CE, when Caracalla extended citizenship to all free inhabitants of the empire, that Ulpian began to write his own works on the law for the benefit of, among others, the new citizens. In 222 CE, the new emperor, Severus Alexander, made Ulpian prefect in command of Rome's Praetorian Guard. However, Ulpian clashed with the soldiers, and in 223 CE they mutinied and killed him. Priests of law. Ulpian had an exalted view of Roman law, which he considered to be universal, rational, and based on what Aristotle described as natural law. Ulpian perceived law as the art of goodness and fairness, of which we are deservedly called the priests, for we cultivate the virtue of justice and claim awareness of what is good and fair. The above lines form part of a definition of law by Ulpian that was chosen as the opening text of the Digesta, a compilation of the interpretations of respected jurists commissioned in the 6th century by Emperor Justinian I. In order to rationalize Roman law, Justinian directed his legal experts to assess the existing contradictory body of legislation, produce a definitive version. The result was the Codex, a comprehensive collection of imperial laws published in 529. This was followed by the Digest and the Institutiones, Institutions, a textbook for law students, both published in 533 CE. Much of Ulpian's writing survives in excerpts included in the Digest. In preparing the work, the compilers often chose Ulpian as their preferred authority, not only because he was one of the last great jurists and had studied the earlier ones, but also because of the clarity and elegance of his writing, which makes up 1/3 of the whole text. The codified system of legal principles expressed in these works of Justinian is a defining feature of Roman law. In this respect, Roman law forms the basis of civil law, the system widely used today. Renaissance Revival. Despite his prominence in the pages of the Digest, Ulpian was largely forgotten until around 1070, when old manuscripts were rediscovered in Italy. Later, in the year 1583, the Digest, the Code, and the Institutions were printed together under the title Corpus Juris Civilis, Body of Civil Law, and became the basis for legal education across Western Europe. Law is the science of what is right and what is unjust. Ulpian the Jurist.